Welcome to Secrets from the Saddle podcast. I'm Sylvie, your host, fellow cyclist, bike club founder, cycling coach, bike race junkie, just truly super passionate about cycling. My journey with cycling started 20 years ago when I opened a spin studio, started a women's race team, and founded a women's only cycling club called Cycle Fit Chicks. I'm super thrilled to reveal all aspects that make the world of cycling operate. I'm so excited to be able to bring you interesting people from around the world, pro cyclists, recreational cyclists, coaches, event organizers, bike shop owners, everything and everyone you need to know or ever wondered about when it comes to cycling. I know you'll enjoy this episode. All right, what's up? And welcome back to another episode of Secrets from the Saddle, All Things Cycling podcast with your cycling host, Sylvie Dow, and cycling coach. This is our Friday edition, and we are going to be talking about how to prepare for your first 100K on Zwift. But before we get into it, this episode is sponsored by Dow Train Systems, Cycle Fitness, your cycling coach for winter training. Now, do you have your bike up on a trainer and you're subscribed to Zwift, but you don't know where to start? Join Cycle Fitness Winter Cycling Skills Program with Coach Sylvie. Learn the skills you will need to know over the winter to improve your cycling, guaranteed. Go to www.cyclingskillspro.com for all the details. Spots are limited. All right, let's get back into the episode. So I'm sharing this with you because in my winter cycling program, we are going to be going for our first 100K indoor ride on Zwift coming tomorrow. And so I prepared this earlier on in the week for my clients because it's important. If you're going to be sitting on your bike for over 2 hours and we're mentally preparing them for 100K, there's a couple things that you might want to get yourself ready for and prepared before the day. So I created this checklist for them and I am sharing it with you. So 100K. Now, not everybody aspires to do 100K online on Zwift. And I didn't start doing them until last year regularly online. And my first 100K was in January. So I'm kind of following the same program or schedule that I did last year. And a number of my clients want to ride 100K outside by April or May. So what I've been doing is that we all started in October. And by the way, there's a couple spots left for the winter. You can jump in at any time. Some of my clients, this is their goal, and it was my goal too. And so over the last 3 months, we've been physically and mentally preparing ourselves, getting our schedule down pat where we're working out 3 days a week, fairly consistent. We've got our endurance, we've got our intervals, and we've got our skills. And now it's time to up the ante and increase our time from 4 hours to 6 hours. So this week, I created our schedule for the next 3 months, and each month there's 100K effort in there. So that's for any one of the clients that want to go for 100K. Now, not everybody's into a 100K, but a lot of ladies who have not thought that they could do 2 hours and 65 or 55 kilometers on Zwift have already achieved that. And they're just like blown away at the fact that they could stay on that long and cycle for that distance. So, when you think about it, if you've already completed like 50 kilometers in 2 hours, you're halfway to 100. And so we are doing our first 100K this week, and this is the checklist that I provided for them. So, number 1, decide when you're going to do that 100K. Now, it's important to decide not the day of, not the morning of, and maybe, some people do that, like, I'll just stay on the bike forever. But I give it a week. So we've been talking about this for a couple weeks now. It was part of the agenda. And so I said, okay, this is when we're doing our first 100K. And, next month we have it on the schedule. Now, it's important for a lot of people to start mentally preparing themselves for this 100K, because it's not normal for some people to, get up early, get everything ready, and then jump on for 100K. So the first thing is to decide when you're going to do this effort and put it on your schedule. So there's no backing out, right? This is we're doing it. Number 2, mentally prepare. So mentally, okay, meaning like, okay, I'm going to do this. How am I going to do this? All the aspects that go into getting yourself prepared for this type of effort. Number 3 is the food. So what are you going to eat before? What are you going to eat during? How are you going to fuel yourself for recovery afterwards? So breakfast, you're going to get your coffee in there. You're going to get your shake, maybe some snacks, a bar or a sandwich, like everything to be prepared. So you're going to start, the week of, okay, what am I going to eat? Making sure you got your groceries done, right? And setting it aside Friday. So making sure everything is prepared Friday, because the last thing, and I highly recommend that you don't do this, is that you leave everything for Saturday morning. That start time starts way too early, and you're just running. And you don't want to be doing that, because stress creates, you're just going to be stressed out, and it's not going to be a good experience. So food. So make sure that you're looking at 4 to 5 hours. So at least 4 to 5 snacks, lots of water. So maybe have one water bottle with water, one with electrolytes, and then make sure it's all ready and prepared the night before. Number 4 is sleep. So no late night binging on TikTok. Get to bed early, because you're going to get up early. In our schedule, we are starting at 8 a.m. to finish between 12 and 1 o'clock. So we don't want to be here all day long either. And some of our group is going to start earlier because they want to finish earlier because they have stuff happening with the family. So you have to think about things like that, like fitting everything in. Like maybe you're going to have to start at 6 so that when you join us at 8 for 2 hours, you're finishing your 100K where we're just starting. So sleep is super important. Making sure you get to bed on time. Then number 5, get your clothing ready. What shorts, what top, you do need chamois butter, like all these things. Make sure it's prepared and ready and downstairs near your bike. So all you have to do is roll out of bed, get your food, get your coffee, get downstairs. And number 6 is the Saturday morning. So, like I said, sleeping, food's ready, clothing's ready. You're going to get down in advance. You're going to calibrate your bike. You're going to start Zwift up, make sure they're not doing any updates, and everything's running smoothly so that when you join the group at 8, you are ready to roll for your duration. Now, what I've done is I set up for our group is that we're going to ride together for 2 hours. So I'm going to pick the route and we're going to do a banded group ride. So that means that people are going to be stuck together and we're all going to do the distance together. But then for the last part is that everybody's riding on their own, because that's the realistically, you have to put out this power. Like banded is kind of like, it's nice to be together, but now you're gonna have to go out and ride on your own. And so I said, for me, it's so important to create independence and over dependence, and that you're mentally working to build your toughness outside of the group. So riding on your own. And then, I'm like, okay, so 2 hours, I'm organizing for you. What are you going to do for the next 2 hours? Are you going to go with a pace partner? Are you going to get into an interval workout for like 45 minutes, an hour? Nothing crazy, just something very structured that can give you a lot of distance. Or are you just going to ride by yourself on some route? Okay. So I've asked them to create their schedule. Then, okay, if you're going to create the schedule, if you're going to either stay with us on our Facebook chat room, because that's what we do, we chat all together, we can see each other and we chat. And, or are you going to listen to music? Are you going to listen to an audiobook? Are you going to listen to my podcast? I'm just kidding. And then the last one is recovery. What are you going to do? I got one before that. Let's say number 7 is your recording of your data. So if you're going to be breaking it up on on Zwift, it's not all going to be like a complete 100K. So you're going to have to start, stop, or just log everything, because everything goes in Strava, right? If it didn't happen on Strava, it didn't happen. So it's got to be on Strava. So make sure you know how you're going to be recording everything. You've got a pen and paper close by, or are you going to save everything after you do it and restart a new route? So everything is in Strava, so you can just calculate everything, and then you've got your 100K. But if you want the 100K Strava badge, and that's kind of another part, is I would just calculate everything and then manually enter it into Strava. And say you did 100K, you can add all your photos. You can take little pictures of each distance, each route, so that you can just put them in the photo, add. And then, people can see, so that, if they ever question you, then it's all there. Then number 8 is recovery. Are you going to stretch? What food are you going to do for your recovery? Like, do you have a protein shake ready? Something like that, because later on you're going to be starving. And so what good meal do you have planned for yourself? And so that's it. That's what I can think of, because that's what I've done myself to just get ready for a much longer ride. We've created an event in our Facebook group, so that's where I'm going to put all details for as I think of things during the week, so everybody can kind of see in one place. So I hope that helps you as an individual. Let me know in the comments on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow us there, and let me know what you did, or if you do something differently with regards to preparing for something longer online. Mind you, a lot of my clients are beginners, and so it's handy as a coach to give everybody parameters and things to think about and kind of plan, because it's just like creating and attending an event, right? You got to get up early, get yourself ready, organized, and it creates what I like to do is create independence of organizing and being organized for later on in, when you start attending events in the summer. So I hope that helps. Have an amazing day, and like I said, share with me some of your tips and tricks, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram, the Secrets from the Saddle podcast, and on our YouTube channel, Secrets from the Saddle podcast. So take care, everybody. Have an amazing day. Bye. Thank you so much for spending this time with me on the Secrets from the Saddle podcast, learning more about sighting people, places, and things that make cycling such an exciting sport. I am so glad you stopped by today. Please leave me a review if you feel so moved to do so. I would love to hear your feedback. And if you could take 1 second to share this episode with someone you think would enjoy it, I would be forever grateful. Also, if you could please leave me a review if you feel so moved by going to iTunes and leaving me an honest thought and an honest comment, telling me what you think, and most importantly, tell me what you'd like to hear more of. It would really help me to bring more great, inspiring cycling stories to you. Until then, have an amazing day. Make sure you ride your bike. And don't forget to visit my YouTube channel if you'd like to see the full version of this podcast live.